It's the end of summer. I literally go back to work on Monday for professional development. And I have no clue what I've done with the time. Hey guys, it's Mrs. Stevens here, or Sequana. Welcome back to Reading with the Teacher. I've not made a video for this channel in a really long time. I think October of last year, maybe even the year before last year, I made an October 2020. Oh, that was 2 years ago, guys. An October 2020 TBR. And that was the last video that I made on this channel. And so I want to make this video to kind of reintroduce myself, talk about what this channel is going to be doing, and also just talk about the fact that it's the end of summer and I'm getting ready to go back to work and what that means. So I made this channel as a booktube channel 3 years ago because I wanted to force myself to read a bit more, to get back into reading books for enjoyment, and also to share those books that I was reading with you all so that I could give you honest reviews. You could decide if you wanted to read them. We could build community if we had read similar books, things of that nature. And what I've decided to do with this channel is to keep that as one component, but I'm going to slightly splice it and sometimes talk a little bit about being a teacher and bring to you guys, ideas of things that I've been doing in the classroom, kind of teacher vlogging, and just talking about my thoughts around teaching. So a little bit about me. I am a teacher in North Carolina. I teach ELA. I teach 12th grade, so seniors. I teach English for honors. I teach AP, and I teach film and literature. So but I've pretty much just been teaching high school. And this is going to be my 16th year as a public school teacher. And that's kind of a scary time. I am been teaching long enough to be considered a veteran teacher, but I'm not quite there towards retirement yet. It's still in the horizon. I still have another 10 to 14 years left before I'm even going to be seeing what looks like that. And the world is changing, and the world is changing as it pertains to how we talk about education in this country, especially around reading, in a way that has made me extremely introspective about what I'm doing, what I'm bringing to my students, the works that we're going to be reading into class, and also just wanting to always get better and improve over time. And so it just made sense that I would maybe revamp this channel or give this channel some new life by kind of doing a bit of both. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you my, oh my gosh, I have 1 week and some change before I see students again, TBR. Because these are going to be books that I had intended to read during the summer and did not get an opportunity to read. So shame on me. Talking a little bit about summer, and also talking a little bit about what my hopes and goals are to revitalize or to prepare myself for going back to the teacher mindset before Monday. So I teach at an early college, which is why I'm starting back at school so early. We're going to have 1 week of teacher work days, professional development, open house, and then we are going to be seeing our students. They come back for their high school classes 1 week in advance before they take their college classes. So this is why I am doing this video now, why I'm getting ready for school now. So I guess kind of an insight into some of the things I've been doing to prepare for that. My summer was intended to be a summer of working on my hobbies, my YouTube channel that I have for films, which I did do some of that, doing things around the house, which I didn't do any of that, spending some time on self-care and more time with my kids and my husband, which I did do a little bit of that, but the summer went by so fast. I started the summer off planning a anniversary for my in-laws, which was beautiful. And I'll share with you guys. Here's the pictures. And that was like the first 3 weeks of my summer that I kind of spent working on that. And then I had about 1 week, and in that 1 week off, I did do some stuff with my channel. I tried to rest a little bit, but I also just did a lot of things with like appointments and signing up for things that we're going to be using and needing later on, and just doing different odds and ends. And so that week went by really fast. And then our kids were in summer camp, but I pulled them out of summer camp for a few weeks while they were doing like different academic things. And we had Stephen's Academy here in the house, which meant I was teaching my kids. And I don't have the grace for teaching small kids. I do it because I have to as their mom, but I don't like it at all. So I just tip my hat off. If you teach elementary and middle grades, hats off to you, because you are amazing, because I don't have the patience. And so I did that for 2 weeks, and then we went on a vacation. Now, I will say our vacation was short, but it was sweet. We went to Virginia Beach, had a good time. We got to ride on a dolphin watching boat and see dolphins swimming behind us, which was really, really awesome. We got to ride like a family tandem bike, which was really hard, a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. We did go-karts and all kinds of things. And so I had intended to take a book to read on the beach. The book that I was going to read on the at the beach was this book, People We Meet on Vacation. Now, this was actually, I run a book club at my school, so this was actually our book club read right before the end of the school year. And I was planning to read it again just because I rushed through it so much that I didn't, there was so much I missed about it. I did not get a chance to read this. Oddly enough, I realized that when you go on vacation with small kids, and you are a mom, you get to be the person who is the keeper of the things at the beach, which doesn't leave a whole lot of time to actually like immersively look at and read books. I tried to read some stuff on my Kindle instead. Didn't work out. I did, however, get a chance to read this book at the very beginning of my vacation. Does my head look big in this? Because I was building some curriculum for my district around this book. This book was pretty good. It's by Randa, Abdel, Fattah. It's already made the book 2 Browns. But it was really enjoyable. I believe they're planning to use this in 10th grade in my district. So I read this at the very beginning of the summer. So as of right now, for my TBR, I technically still need to look at this book again. And I don't even remember like that. I forgot that the book was this thick, which means that there was a lot that I forgot about this book. At some point, probably around that 1 week that I had off, was watching Stranger Things. Definitely my favorite show of the summer, Stranger Things 4. Chrissy, wake up. I don't like this. And so found out the Duffer Brothers were going to be adapting the Talisman for Netflix, I believe, coming up soon. So this is one of their next big projects, and it was referenced in season 4 of Stranger Things. I'm not going to spoil for you where it was referenced, but it was referenced. And of course, if you're a fan of Stranger Things, you know that there are tons of Stephen King references. I am a Stephen King fanatic and read so much Stephen King growing up. This is one of the few books that I never read, and it's more of a fantasy book. And I checked it out from my local library and have not read any of it. Another book. This one I am reading because the world that we are living in right now requires me to read this. Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. I am a huge Handmaid's Tale fan of the TV series, and everyone has been rereading the book series in the wake of the world imploding. And so I, just to kind of get my smart brown girl on, was really encouraged to start with this. That basically, like, this is a precursor to Handmaid's Tale. And I hadn't planned on using Handmaid's Tale or teaching Handmaid's Tale. I don't teach AP until the spring, so there's still a possibility that maybe I will allow that to be a choice novel for any of my students who haven't read it. But I thought this would be an excellent pairing to that, and because I haven't read this was on my TBR. And then the other book that I think is downstairs, and so I'm not going to run downstairs and get it, is The Fifth Season by M.K. Jemisin. She is a fantastic Black fantasy author, and I wanted to get some fantasy in there, some like high fantasy in there. So I decided to read that. Now the reality is, because I get kids on the 8th, there's probably no way. And we've had some pretty big family tragedy happening right now in our family. So the reality is I probably won't even get to read too much of any of these this weekend. But my goal is going to be by the end of August. So I guess you could call this my August TBR. The reality is it's not my before school TBR, but it will be my August TBR. It's going to be to finish reading these books and bonus points if I can finish The Fifth Season. I was also going to read Mr. Malcolm's List so that I could review the movie for my channel. But since the movie's been out for a minute, I don't feel as pressed for that. So we'll just call that a bonus fun run if I get a chance to. So these are the books that I'm going to be reading for my TBR. Okay? Let me know down below in the comments if you've read any of these books, what you thought about them, and come back later for my ratings. So I mentioned our family has had kind of a pretty big loss, and we've been dealing with that for the last 2 weeks. So essentially I went on vacation, came back, and then that happened, and that's kind of been the way that my last 2 weeks of summer vacation are ending. So I guess this is like the self-care portion of like teacher self-care before school starts. List of things that I'm doing to maximize these last few days, especially in the midst of going through so much stuff and having to deal with that and attend a funeral and all of those things. Is I got my hair done yesterday, so that was part of my self-care. New hairdo, because you have to get your hair done before school starts back. You gotta get a haircut, gotta get your hair done. So having that hair appointment. I wanted to get a pedicure, but what I did was I went to the dollar store and invested in some, they have these little foot soaking thingies, and they were like $1.25, and you just put them on and then stick your feet in hot water, and it's supposed to like soften your feet. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm doing this thing where I don't want to necessarily go to the salon and have them like doing the grating thing on my feet, because that really damages your skin. So whenever you feel like your feet are highly calloused after that, it's because you're pulling away the good epidermis. So I was like, oh, I'll use this instead. I'll do a foot soak, and I'm going to do my pedicure, my mani-pedi to prepare myself. And then my plan is on Sunday to kind of treat myself to a nap on Sunday afternoon, because we don't get naps during teacher time, and that's probably one of the things that I miss the most about the school year, is being able to take a nap. So I'm going to get one last nap in before we go back to school. Now, I am really fortunate because next Friday, right before classes begin, we do have an optional teacher work day, and I'm probably, if all goes well and all of my documents are ready to go and I feel pretty confident about getting ready to start classes on that Monday, I'm going to take Friday as like another self-care day, just as one last jump start before the school year. So I guess the theme of this video is just, what are you doing now that summer is coming to a close to rejuvenate? Some of you have had your kids all summer and you haven't had time to self-care at all. Is there a way that you can find some time right before school begins to treat yourself to a movie that you've been wanting to go see? I highly recommend Nope. I really enjoyed it. To getting your mani-pedi done, getting your hair done, maybe getting a massage, doing some mini golf, something that you just enjoy that is fully just going to replenish your cup. Something I would recommend, something that maybe you find a really hard time making time for during the school year. It's really hard for me, even though I review movies, to go see movies in the theater. So that will likely be my thing. I've seen Nope twice. So if I get a chance on Friday, either before my nap or after my nap, if I get a chance, I will probably treat myself to one last theater movie. That's going to be just completely for me. Maybe not attached to a review, but just because I like it. Getting a nap in, because it's something that I don't often get to do during the school year, even on the weekends, because then that's when we're trying to get everything done. And maybe one last, if I don't do my own self, I'll finish my mani-pedi. But if I don't finish my mani-pedi before then, I will get my mani-pedi done, because I do struggle with doing my feet during the school year, and I usually go a really long time with the same polish on, and then I take it off, and then once winter comes and there's no more toes to show, it's like, that's all she wrote. So those are my things that I'm going to do to replenish my cup in preparation for the school year. Let me know down below in the comments, what are some things that you do for self-care right before school gets back in session? I hope to bring you guys a lot more content on this channel. So if you liked this video, liked some of the suggestions in the video, or if you even liked the TBR list in this video, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. And I hopefully will see you guys next week as I vlog and show you guys my classroom and tell you guys what I'm doing to start the school year. So until then, toodles.